Hello everyone and welcome back to part 19 of the D7 battle cruisers. Today we're going to actually start gluing the tops down, and then that way we can start filing and puttying and sanding up the seams. So let's go take a look. Okay, I think it's time to get this top put down. Everything's working. Actually, this gave me plenty of a tail that I can actually do this. I think what I'm going to do is tack some super glue here, here, and here, and here. That gives me that quick grab. And then I'm going to run, I was kind of up in the air what, I got so many choices in glue now. If I wanted to go with the Revell for here, or do I just go with the Tamiya cement? I think I'm going to go with the Tamiya cement, or do I do the tube? But I think the Tamiya cement might be the best option. I'll probably get less squirting through, and I can just brush along these edges. So I think everything is good. Make sure all this tape's down. Otherwise we're light blocking stuff. There we go. So let's try that, and then we'll do the super glue on top last, because otherwise it'll cure up really fast. So get this Tamiya cement open. Get rid of the excess. Get this a little closer so it pushes that up. I have a little trouble seeing there. And I already did do a light sanding. You want to do, especially up here, a light sanding. And then we can go right across. But I know I don't have a whole lot of time, so I got to kind of really get moving. It's not going to be quite as much as the we got to get to the gut, and hopefully this is starting to move. No, of course not. Alright, let's hope and pray. Get you in there without squishing out of any of these areas. And the next thing is getting all this to line up. That looks pretty good. I'm going to throw a clamp there. Pretty good. We're going to throw a clamp here. I definitely got something weird going on here. There we go. Throw something here. There. up a lot of my clamps. One there. I really could use one right there. I have to. Alright, oop, yeah, let's get rid of that. That one too. They have something on them. Looks like we'll be touching that up. Oh, it's coming off. But that means it's on the other side too. Yep. Alrighty. That's where I put little tape on the feet of those clamps. You know, cause make sure they don't mark up. But these obviously had some silver on them. Where did they come from? You were here. So I want to keep you on there. Phew. But I saw a weirdness as far as, and you need to come back here because it hold that down. I don't think I can get a clamp there. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, so we're gonna have to file that back. There's a lot of fitting. It's, but we're pretty. Yeah, there's a lot of fitting. It's gonna be done on this ship because that's way out that way. We're pretty good on that side. In the back, we're pretty good. We got a lot of filing there. The key part is right there. And we're pretty good there. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to putty a lot of off of here. or file. But I wanted to have that raised part like that. There I won't worry about except for here and there. There it's good. Here it gets way out, and then I'll just have to kind of file that in a straight line. Back. But that's not going to be too bad. I think I'm not liking here. That's how that part's fitting. But we can file that and smooth that so you can't see it. That's easy file off. My main part that's bothering me is that's not back. There, I got it to go back. Because that'll be hard to fix. The better I can get that, the better life will be. But what we can do once she sets a little better is we can go in and put some of the thin in, the extra thin, and get that to run down into all the seams and make sure we got a good bond. We got a lot of fixing here to do. The other side I think is just the same. Yeah. Play that seam up. But there we go. We got it glued down. So we'll let it cure and we'll move on to the other one. I gotta get the wiring done in that, but let's let her sit and cure. And on this one we gotta do the exact same thing we did to the other one. I think we pull this apart more. Give them a... Yeah, we're spinning that way. We can have a neater wiring system here. That's better. Alright, what do we got to do to this? We're not going to need those small clips, so we can get them out of the way. What's next? Let's make sure this is super glue. Although I bought a whole bunch more. Bought the thin, medium, and thick. Plus something that's supposed to get rid of. It's uncure. Supposed to uncure it, and then it will set. I must have put all that stuff away. Yep. So we're gonna need. These are great on eBay to get a bunch of these for your ships that don't have a big enough base for a switch in one of these. And you just get a bunch of those for my other base, but these are for like the smaller 1/1000s or something like that. I can just connect them on. Alright, we need that, and we need one of these. We'll just pull one out, go back in. Chew that way. We just need one of you. I don't even know if this is even much worth it, since it pretty much was able to just do that. But, yeah, it's using up things that are just laying around the house. It's a little more convenient to use because wires are already stripped and everything. So what are we gonna do? We gotta get this resistor on here, which I think I put in here. There you are. There's that resistor. That's all we need out of here. Need to get some shrink tube. need to get the soldering iron heated up too. That'd be great. I used a better solder, not that thin junk. That'll work for like LED strips and stuff. Alright, because last time I did like that. Do I want to do that again, or do I want to do... Last time I did like that, but then I didn't really have a way of getting a big piece of... Unless I let it come down further. But still, it's got to go in through. Oh, I see. If I come down further, though. I might be able to get something over that. I don't know. Go make sure our premature because it might still be a little warm, which makes the shrink tube want to shrink. Go. And one more time. Point there that might cause a problem. Alright, now we got that on. Set this aside. Don't get caught under the camera stand. And the more fun part. Well, we're going to want to put a little bit of solder here to get this joined. Go. And I can get rid of the excess. Oh, we gotta drill a hole in the bottom of this sucker too. In order to get our hot, positive and negative up through. Yay. Alright, well, nothing to it but to do it. And we need to make it fit this. We get a scuff on that side. what it'll look like. Oh, what's the dimension here? I think it's a 1/4 inch, or well, it'll be less. 13/64. 13/64. Oh boy. I think what we'll do is we'll drill a pilot hole through that. That way we have a center hole to drill up through the bottom. Alright, let's see what we got here. Think I'm going to have a 13/64? Nope. Boy, that's close. It's a hair smaller like I thought. Oh, I can give it a little wiggle. That's going to be the closest. Alright, but we need to do a little pilot hole. So, we'll do that right down there. Just grab that. Might not even. This chuck's too big. That's alright. That's why we have this. We'll just use this. It's enough to give me a go. Enough to give me a little center hole. Alright, probably should start from smaller to big, but I'm going for it. Brand new bits, so bit, but not in the chuck very well. Yeah, probably should have. Well, there's a flange too. Alright, I see what you're gonna do. That's all we needed. Hit any wires? Nope. There we go. That worked good. Like I said, it's got a flange that'll hide anything. Hit it a little more. Maybe we can get more with this. Maybe it's just a hair. What was that, a 3/16 bit? It's just a hair under. There we go. we got that on there. Did I drill a hole through the center of this yet? Yeah. That'd stink if I'm trying to. I know what I should do with that is actually glue that as well. What should I hit it with? I don't need to hit it with a little bit of this. It was a little extra thin. I probably should put a little bit of the bigger stuff on there too. But that's pretty strong and stable. But maybe I will. Just a small amount. Just to really make it bond. I didn't do that on the other one. Should have probably too, but that one had its own hole made for it, so it wasn't a big deal. It's only supposed to be pressed in. But this one here, and being that it had its own hole from the factory, it has an up set, so it was like it's not just a hole in the plastic; it's actually an inset that surrounds it. Where this doesn't, so I feel better if I hit that with a little cement. Very good. They both have their pieces on. Put the calipers away. That was a good investment. Get yourself, doesn't have to be over expensive. I'm not measuring, to the thousands and stuff like that. But it's messing around with rulers where I can just grab this thing and then duplicate, and plus then you got this measures this way, this measures this way, so you can get the inside gap of something, and then you have a depth thing where you push that and it lowers, so that gives you the depth. And it's all readable, and you can get it in fractions of an inch, millimeters, and inches by decimals. I actually like the millimeters, and you can set it, you can zero it, you can lock it once you have a position. It's a great little tool. If you watch Adam Savage's Tested, he uses it a lot to, you can open it up and lock it. Say I want to be at 19.2, and you can use it to scribe. You can kind of hold one down and scribe with the other. So it's a great tool. Used it a lot since I've gotten it. I can measure diameters of stuff and whatever. It's great. Sure beats messing with, the rulers all the time. And I got two rulers, a big one and a small one. And they still come in handy too. Straight edges and measuring where I don't have the area to mess with a big, heavy caliper. Okay, so we got that going. Now if I can get which I'm going to say we're going to go with the red. We'll slide, yeah. Red slides over all that pretty good. So we'll nip a piece off. that. Leave another little one off. This side's not so bad because I don't have that resistor popping out through. And probably should get all that connected up too. Do I want to leave the tape there? And it seems like that's going to want to be like that, so let's bring these around. I'm not going to need all that here. And then we're going to save this for and solder that on the negative, because these wires are so tiny and they're hard to strip, where these are already pre-stripped. A lot of times I'll coil them up and stuff, and the extra wire, not even cut the excess off because it's just so hard to strip them. My strippers don't go that tiny. It wants to just break the wire. So I found a good solution is the excess you cut off the resistor, you can solder on there. That just gives you a little more contact. Let's bring this around so it's not all spaghetti. That way I can just take that and twist that around. Some solder there and get rid of that excess. Now, I might even jump a size up because I just added that. Let's go to the yellow. But now we got to get the, I need to turn this gun up. And I just need to run the magnet wire through. But while I'm doing that, connecting all this, my battery's about ready to go. So, I'll let this charge up and then we'll do a test on it and then glue this one down. Hopefully maybe today. I don't know. I probably should let that sit a little longer. But yeah, well, I'll be back and we'll do a light test and fit all these, connect this together and do a light test. And then we're ready to glue this one. So I'll see you soon. Oh, okay. We got the top glued down on this one. Got some stickiness from the tape. It's on the clamps, but we'll have to make sure we wipe all these ships down. And there's a couple sticky spots there too. But she looks good. Top is completely glued down. All the lighting is working. Now, as you can see, look at that gray edge right there. Yeah, we're still a little large on here. Actually really good here. Just got to file them a little nicer. But that shows you it's not good on this side. But look how much it's sticking out on this side. And that could be that this needs to push down. Who knows? Like if we did a little bow, it might have fit better, but it's down. We got a lot of seam work to do. Have to come in here and file that. And the worst is it's got to stay at that angle. So we have this nice kind of thing going on here. Go through and hit that with the sandpaper. We'll have to file that a little bit, and then putty those seams. Front's not too bad. We got an edge there. This side's pretty good all the way across. We'll still have to, you know, fudge all that so that looks nice and smooth. I tried to, before it set up, push on that to make sure that was in. Getting rid of this lip is easier than getting rid of that lip. The back's not terrible. This side looks really good. It's more of just a sanding smooth. Looks pretty good up to here. And then here we got an edge. It's going to come off. Got a pretty good edge on one of these. This one right here. So we're going to have to file that all back. And then touch up. A lot of touch up painting. I can see. And then here I still gotta figure I might hand paint that back in. It's gonna be hard to airbrush. I mean, I could block with tape to there. We'll figure it out. Can run tape on an edge here. But yeah, she's ready. So we got to do the same to the other side. And this one is get right to the filing so we can paint. Then we can do our decals and then do our final clear. Get the rod put in the bottom here. Run this wire down through. And put a switch in the base. In the base, I think I'm just going to do that simple silver splatter right over the black plastic, and then you clear it, and it seems to come out pretty nice. And that's what I did with the Katinga, so that'll be nice to have this kind of looking the same. But I'm really happy on how it's coming out. I really like my engines. So, I guess the best thing to do is hit this other one, get this one glued down, then we can mess with this, because it's going to have to cure for a while. And this one's not a big race because I'm still waiting on the decals, so I can at least get it all set up and ready, and then, but I'm going to have to still be able to access this bottom for the yeah, and those clamps have goopy, it wipes off, but still. We'll have to have access for the bird, that big Romulan bird that's going to go under here. And I didn't think about, I wish I knew where to put this when that bird decal goes down. I mean, it's got to go pretty much in a good center of, like, I'm just barely holding that, and it's staying pretty stable as far as tilting, so. Alright. There we go. We're going to do the same with this one. Alright, the best way. Just make sure everything's smooth. That's something going on there. I don't even know, it's like sticky stuff. Let's do a dry fit. See what we got going on here. how bad this one's going to be. This one's got a lot of play. I think that front is the biggest worry, but the other one I could go off the back. And it looks like I can still kind of do that. Alright, there's nothing to it but to do it. Get them under like that. This, I found, is going to be the friend. And a little super glue. I need to get tilting down. There's a lump there. I must hit it with the iron. At least I didn't deform the outside there. But that could hold things up. Alright. I'll do the same process. This, whoop, that's not good. That's not good. I mean, this needle's going to want to glue itself up in there all the time. I wiped it down. Oh, this stuff is great. Yeah, this stuff's great. Alright, super glue. Come on, we don't cut all day. Hurry up. Don't want that regular cement to start setting up. Are you kidding me? I put some super glue in the back there too, so hopefully my other hand's pushing that in. And I think so. Yeah, because that looks good. Real good. Not too bad. As long as we can keep that up there like that. How do we look underneath? Oh, we got clamps flying off. It's hard to find a spot to clamp this thing because I don't want it to clamp on that silver detail. And we still got one heck of a, not on this side, but the other side we do. But all in all, as far as going over the edges here, this one's better. And like I said, this could be warped on the other one. Could be bowed down, and that's why, or up or something. So that's why those edges didn't fit as nice. Oh, we're starting to come out again. It's going to be the best we can do. All right, I'm happy with it. There she is. And of course I did test the lighting before we did this. Let's get this closed back up. So hopefully that stays up there and doesn't keep bending. It's just a harder seam to sand is that edge to make it match with the top. It's easier to get rid of that lip, but there's a little there, and I could fill it with filler with putty to bring it out. But let's try not to do that, but I could feather that in. So same thing with this. It's going to be a look at, wow, that's really out there. This side's pretty good, and I could have caught that and tried to squish it over, but then I was afraid it would make these not line up. But alright, I'm going to go sit this over to the side and we'll let it cure. And start filing away on the other one. So I guess that's nothing to it but to do that. Yeah, like here, well, yeah, so we got about the same on there, on both. I think the first thing it's going to be to do is to get them semi-close by sanding them. And then, yeah, we got to, not so much back here, just a little bit there. And then we got to try to make sure it's straight, too, across. So that's going to be the fun part. I did a lot of filing building the TIE Fighter because it was a resin kit. And you had a lot of edges to clean. So let's try to do this with the least amount of damage. feathering them in. And that's working really nice. It's pretty much almost there. Especially if I go off of horses, there's nowhere to really put pressure. You got this flimsy neck, and I don't want to crack any of that up. But that looks good. Enough to give me some putty room. Here it doesn't need much. It's actually taking it off up there first, huh? Yeah, wow. That looks great. And the rest of that we'll leave alone. I'll just lightly hit with sandpaper where some glue came through. Well, that was that side. That's nice. Now, actually making pretty quick work out of all this. As long as I don't scuff anything up down here. And it's giving the whole thing the right angle. Yeah, that's working great. Better I get this plastic. Yeah, the better I get that plastic, the better lifting. I don't know if the paint's actually lifting or what's going on there. I have to take a little bit of this and that's not going to totally matter because all that's going to get sanded. That's gonna work good. But yeah, we're getting something weird going on those edges. I think it's just paint. the paint's not filing off, it's kind of lifting up. But here's going to be a little more difficult because I'm going to have to come from above. But we definitely have to. To get the plastic into the shape we need it to be. Oh, that wasn't too bad at all. Like I said, once I put some putty in there, that'll fix that. Yeah, that's working actually. Fairly nice. Beautiful. So, I knew there was going to be some serious touching up. That's not too bad at all. Just sand some of that because yeah, it's starting to chip it up. But I had a feeling we were going to have to hit some of the gray. Especially this point. Yeah, that's going to work really nice. I wish it was small enough just to use the primer, surface primer, but I'm going to have to get in there with some red, which can cause a mess, but we have to. Alright, that edge looks, or this one, looks really good. A little touch up there and that whole edge. This is, yeah. Get that. Hit it with some Scotch Brite too will help get the glue shinies. Very nice. Well, it's to the big one, but it looks like my battery's getting close to being low. So, but yeah, I'm just going to continue filing that. Filing this edge. And then, yeah, fun with these. Without doing as much little damage as possible. But I'll come back and I'll show you the results. See you soon.